episode 59 of Fist of the North Star 1 Point. The keyword for this episode is going to be reflection. In this video, I'd like to precisely talk about what Kenshiro does against Shu towards the end of this episode, which is using the water reflection spirit technique. That's what my subtitles told me, but it's something like that. There's water, there's reflection, and well, maybe spirit is, it may be, I don't know, the way or the technique of water reflection. I want to talk about that. This may make you remember the kind of things that we said concerning Toki's technique, the destruction of the face and compassion of the Hokuto, right? So I kind of want to deconstruct the name of this technique and other things, because again, there's some sort of paradox, let's say, and there's going to be a great solution. So this is going to be kind of a sequel, let's say, to the previous episode, as I said. So that technique is the technique that allows Kenshiro to use back, let's say, the techniques of the masters that he saw, right? So against Shu, he uses 𝙿𝚎𝚅𝚌𝚎 technique, right? And Shu is surprised, and then he explains that that's why the Hokuto is superior to other martial arts. Here's what the paradox, the weird thing. Remember when Jagi uses the Nanto Seiken against Kenshiro? And Kenshiro is like, what the hell is this? Nanto Seiken? Using the because Jagi comes across that lowlife who doesn't know the worth of the Hokuto, so he's using weapons and so on, and well, Nanto Seiken is like body and not spirit, so it's bad. And then he says that his technique is nothing compared to Shin's technique. That's already a clue to the solution to the paradox. But isn't that a bit weird? Why would Kenshiro be so surprised when he does it himself? It doesn't seem to be so bad to use other techniques. And essentially, I think, well, Jagi, in my opinion, certainly didn't use that technique against Kenshiro, either because he doesn't know it, or because he never saw Shin use the Nanto Seiken, which would really surprise me. It would also surprise me that he doesn't know that technique, as in how to use it. I have more things to say concerning that specific technique. Let's do the same thing as what we did with Toki, right? Like deconstructing the name. It's water reflection spirit. We talked a bit about water, how good of a symbol it is. So basically water is the essence of life. It is the essence of life, literally, as in we have to drink it to survive. It's our most fundamental need. But also symbolically, as in, so we're composed of water, and then you have this idea that everything goes back to water, it relies on water. And then remember, I think it's especially in episode 1 that we talked about how Kenshiro goes through hell, and he seems to be physically suffering, and he's burning with the heat caused by the sun, and he's thirsty, he needs water. But in reality, it's spiritual, because he has to accept the responsibility, his responsibility as a successor. He has to kill people now. He can't be that gentle guy with his fiancée. And he needs water because he has to really strengthen his faith in that responsibility. So that's water, that's meaning, essence. Okay? And so essence gets to be a symbol for, water, gets to be a symbol for the essence, the core, the fundament, the foundation of things. And so it's the reflection of that. So I use back the technique of, well, let's say water. So let's say that 𝚿𝚎 in this case, that guy he's using the technique of, is water. So basically the idea is that Kenshiro doesn't reproduce, he doesn't imitate, he doesn't mimic a technique, as his technique seems authentic indeed. He's actually going to the core of the thing, and he can use back the technique, and he masters it, and that's why the Hokuto is superior. It's not mimicking. Kenshiro mocks his opponents often because they only imitate martial arts, like amiba and the Colonel. So how does he do that? Why couldn't Jagi do it? My take is that it's because Kenshiro feels their pain. He has empathy. He's actually kind. He has a kind spirit. That's what makes him stronger. And I think that this technique, and indeed later in the anime, I don't want to spoil, but it's really going to be that, right? He's going to use the techniques of those people that die, that he sees, witnesses the death of, and he understands them. And that sadness makes him stronger. Now, Jagi certainly didn't feel that for Shin, right? And that's what I think about this technique. I think, I'm keeping it short, I think it's a technique you're able to use, not only seeing them, but like, let's say, really seeing through their technique, their strength, the kind of person that they are, and getting stronger by the empathy, the compassion, let's say, that you have for them. And, well, those examples are people who die, and get stronger with that sadness.